It's another beautiful Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host. Hi, Louise.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Good morning. Good to see you, Nima. You were chilling yesterday. Continue. Continue.
Mondays are the best days to chill because the whole world has gone to work and you're just in the house.
Some of us don't have that opportunity because we need to do school runs.
Even though I had to do all the cleaning and everything, I still felt good that I had 30 minutes of sleep in the afternoon.
Extra sleep.
Where do I get to nap in the afternoon? And I love sleep in the afternoon.
Talking about school runs, usually my husband exempts me from school runs these days, but now I have to do this week because he's gone to camp.
Oh.
This whole week, and this whole week is Congress, so...
Oh, that's one of my staff. She wanted to take 2 weeks off. I said, I don't understand. You want to take 2 weeks off work in December?
Because it's Congress.
Because it's Congress and she's working. Congress, I didn't even know she was a RCCG member.
We have it every year. It's August and convention in August.
I only gave her permission to do 1 week off because we have work to do.
Anyways, and if you don't need to be in that area, don't go to that area because obviously there'll be traffic. But we are going to be there. Hopefully, maybe Thursday, Friday, I should go. My mom is already there.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Murayo, I have gist.
What gist do you have?
In this, we need to start generating something. I realized that generating prayer is now I watched Father Mbaka's video, and he was talking about how if the presidency is ungrateful, we've generated so many prayer and fasting on these grounds for him. And I thought that in this country, is that the most important thing for us to generate? We're not generating jobs. We're not generating innovation, we're generating prayer and fasting, and it should be commercial.
You have personal gist, or is Father Mbaka's gist to have for us? Please,
How
are you doing?
My kids have Apollo.
Very good.
And so we did not go to school.
Oh, Kutoju.
They sent us out of school.
All
3 of them?
No, my baby somehow survived the Apollo. He had a red eye for 1 day, and then it cleared out by itself. But the twins have Apollo, and the school quarantined them yesterday. Said, don't bring it into this compound. Kept them by the reception and waited for me till I came to pick them up, So I think it's good because honestly, we wouldn't have gotten it if my baby school had quarantined the person that had it too.
Let me come to you, Mariam. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We went
yesterday. Oh yeah, you guys went to the prisons
yesterday. What I saw.
That's what Nima was telling us. So.
I'm telling you.
Cells.
We didn't go to the cells, but we went to Kirikiri maximum security prison, and I saw well-fed, good-looking
yes, I corroborate.
Inmates. We went to their store.
She even ate their food.
I tasted their beans.
And their rice.
I went to their store. From ceiling to floor.
There was food.
Bags and bags of rice, beans.
So where do we get these reports that these guys are starving?
I don't know.
And there are stones in their food.
Because I had to ask that, was this the way it's always been? Now said, I know there's been improvements because they had their new Controller General, Ahmed Jafar, that came in 2015, appointed by the president, and that the man has brought in a lot of reforms. Even UNESCO gave the Nigerian prison service a recognition and award because of their...
According to the report, they said they had a bakery.
Yes, they had bakery.
PhD.
They had this entertainment center. They were watching Nigerian movies on one screen. Then they were watching Bollywood on another screen.
Prisoners are enjoying over
there's a lawn tennis court. There's football pitches.
But when she mentioned that, I think people are well fed, they're looking good. One person shouted out that we want freedom. So, and that's something that the controller said. Yes, because that the thing is.
That's maximum forever.
That's the thing. The most important thing for in prison is that the fact that you're incarcerated enough in itself is a punishment, so that they don't want to put more hardship on people that are incarcerated. And it looks like that.
I was experienced at is it minimum prison?
Medium.
It's different. It's different.
So I've gone there.
I wanted to share my weekend.
Okay.
I spent
please.
Sunday with my sisters. All 4 of us and our children. We waited for my sister-in-law. You know, we have 5 kids. And my sister-in-law was ladies' day out with the children. My sister-in-law backed out because the kids were watching you. So she backed out, but it was major fun. Once my daughter got there, one of your viewers saw my daughter changing in public. She went all naked, wore a swimsuit at the JJT park, went to the waterfall straight. Gufran knows how to catch fun. I kept calling her. We spent all day there. It was really fun. I enjoyed my weekend.
For those of you that have siblings.
All right. Let's go on a quick break. It's Tuesday. A lot happening in the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right. We're going to start with the punch. I'll work against Ogun APC governorship candidate, says Amosun, as the governor's loyalists defect to APM. Vote PDP so that we can all have food to eat, says Jonathan. Musician, small doctor. 3 others arrested for possession of firearms. Yes, so as they're dancing the song. No, so that people know who small doctor is. I didn't know who he was until they told me the song. So trust me. EFCC gets court approval to prosecute Diezani and begins extradition process. Don't attack Malian headsman. Mayeti Allah warns police and others. $8.4 million fraud. EFCC arraigns 2 oil marketers and 5 companies. And butcher beat his wife to death for being rude. So let's take small doctor and this butcher's
So let me take butcher.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shina Kasali is his name, and his wife, Sharifat Kasali, accused him of looking at a prostitute and looking at her private part. So he was so upset and incensed that how can she be so rude to him, and he beat her until she collapsed and she passed on. I mean, that's
the worst part was she collapsed. He left her to die.
Yes.
So the witness account was that once she collapsed, they asked to take her to the hospital. He refused, and then they called the nurse, and he refused the nurse to handle. So in reply, he said, yes, they asked him to call the hospital. He had called his own brother to bring a car so that they can take her to the hospital, and he was waiting for his brother. And then they brought a nurse who he had sold meat to that refused to pay, and they had a face-off at some point. So he doesn't talk to that nurse, and he didn't want her to touch his wife. And that he suspected that his wife had used some abortion drugs because she keeps bad company. Okay. And that when he pushed her, she fell on the bed and was groaning in pain, and just left her till she died. The most important thing here is that this was whatever he did had led to a murder.
Thank you.
That's like
because all that
through and make an
I don't know how
example.
you. Thank you.
And make an example of people must learn proper conduct. You must mature into marriage. You're marrying a person and not a slave.
Who is allowed to?
Of course, we talk about small. Let's talk about small doctors. So Adekunle is his name, Temitope. He was arraigned. He was what do you call them?
Paraded.
Paraded by the the Commissioner of Police in Lagos.
Rifle.
So he had done a performance Agege and shot in the air, and the pellets from the bullet fell on injured 4 people. They rushed them to the hospital. And following that again, he was in possession of that gun and threatened the police officer at the checkpoint to clear.
Did he have license for the gun?
Even the car they were driving is not registered.
So
so that's the thing.
They were driving an unregistered car. So a lot of things are not adding up. And I don't expect a person of his status, public figure. No, he's a model for a lot of people. One model.
Status.
But that's what the Commissioner of Police was saying, that it's very disappointing because we're expecting that someone of his status and being a role model would enjoy grace.
I can't hear anybody anymore.
Sorry, when we enjoy grace, you must respect it that it is grace. And keep good company.
Okay. Moving on to The Nation very quickly. The Economist tips Buhari for victory in 2019. Picture here of anti-cult war sparks panic in Benue town. They're cutting people's hair. Boko Haram government orders Buratai back to war theatre. Pop star small doctor held in Lagos, and PDP chieftain sick Northwest votes for Atiku. Why are they cutting people's hair here? Benue
in Benue State, following court attack in Boko, the Boko youth, a cultist attack had led to the death of an Okada rider, and the cultists seemed to have a kind of look to them. They had afro and enticing style. So the youth in the village declared war on everybody
that had that hairstyle
because it was the signature of the cult group, and they were giving them public S-shaped view. Sharp, everywhere they go. No.
This is our generating prayer.
No, you see, we don't understand what they call youth group. We used to have age mates group, and those people were the people who ensured that values and morals were, enthroned
beyond that.
They were
the ones that held the government accountable.
Exactly, those days, even to the
democracy against military rule.
Exactly.
And now we have such youth groups, and they are involved more in being political thugs
than So it's important. I'd like that we study what our traditional means of
no problem. So The Economist, according to The Nation, respectable magazine, predicts that our President Buhari is going to win the elections.
In the fight against Boko Haram, our President has said that the Buratai should go and resume. They should move the headquarters to Sokoto. And I was wondering,
been ordered back.
I thought that he was supposed. No, not Maduguri. I thought I was supposed to go to Maduguri last year. You know, and we keep hearing this, like it's more of a statement that go and do this, go and resume here, $1 billion is released to you, and then nothing actually happens.
All right, let's move on to the New Telegraph. I hope somebody read that paper. Okorocha and Muslims men dump APC, join AA and APM. Uchenwosu clinches Imo AA governorship. Finally, oh, he finally got the AA. Good. Governorship ticket. APC spokesman resigns. Let's see. Federal fake Kogi governor's wife dupes man of 150 million naira in Aso Rock. 2019, INEC moves to track campaign finances. Unilorin students commit suicide for failing project. DMO Finance Ministry moved to avert oil marketers strike. How HOD arrested attempted to rape us, police students say. And CBN probes banks over top 10 loans.
So Adigun Olawale is
Unilorin.
a Unilorin student, and he was in his final year. He was supposed to come out with second-class upper, but he failed his final year project, which made him commit. It would affect his GP into coming out with a second-class lower, and that made him commit suicide.
Right.
He dropped a note on social media saying that since he failed to make his last graduation list, he was going to kill himself.
This suicide that's becoming an option.
He was a second-class upper. He wasn't a failure.
Hey.
He passed every exam up until that point. He was a good student, but just because he failed his last year project, he decided to drink sniper. For me, I say, are we raising children that just focus on I must pass, I must succeed, I must blow, or children that can handle failure?
Steady competition of who had the best result. At some point, I just saw that it was consuming
So
me.
the pressure is
so
more
I
on the
dropped
smarter
it and
children.
started praying for Baraka. Alubarika in the local is more important on that degree than, you know, that competition. It was back-to-back library trying to get a 2-1.
Okay, but for me, I don't think it's really about
pressure of you won't know companies.
See, I don't think it's about that pressure because only a healthy mind understands competition.
Okay.
I think it's more has to do with maybe depression, you know. I have
Then the pressure has
because we have to bring in an expert here to talk about this. So let's just. But also the story that we forgot to take: scientists discover cure for baldness. You have that story?
So some scientists have discovered a cure for baldness. The one,
Men,
you know,
listen up, please.
So men, that there's this pathway in our brain which is active when you're in the womb and you're born, but then as you age, it stops working. And there are some cells that communicate with your hairline and your hair cells. So scientists have discovered that and have found ways to activate it in old age. So hopefully some of you will start growing your hair back and looking.
I don't have front hair, so you can help me activate it.
Find out after 10 years it has a side effect.
Terrible. Okay, let's take Daily Sun. This woman, this imposter lady.
Hey.
Let me start with the headline. 2019, PDP declares total war on Buhari. DSS parades Aisha Buhari's impersonator, who suspects scammed businessmen and others. 4 parties ask court to stop Buhari's assent to the Electoral Act. And court grants EFCC permission to arraign Dezani Omokore. Let's talk about this
Amina Mohammed.
There are 2 of them, right?
No, only this woman. Amina Mohammed, Amina Villa, Justina Iloha is the same person.
Yes, many
Apparently,
names.
she has a way. She gets to the presidential villa, declares herself as the first lady of Kogi, gets entry into the first lady's quarters, and then invites people on how they bid. But she is saying in her defense, she has impersonated the first lady eventually when she gets in, and then gets money from people. But she, in her defense, is insisting she couldn't have done this alone.
Yes, and she was naming names. She's singing.
The sisters of the first lady, they are inside. The former SSG is inside. So it's not only her.
She's
and
singing.
you know, I love the photo on the son. You know, she felt so embarrassed. She went under the table.
Showed her face.
No, that was Punch. Punch was very bold. I don't know how they took their shot. But if you see the one in New Telegraph, they were trying to get her face and she refused to address pressmen. I think if she's done something she's bold of, even though she had help, she should be able to say no. You know?
But we should investigate.
Yeah,
we should investigate.
I wanted to say that, does that put what I said yesterday during banter in perspective?
Right.
About a security man that insisted on doing his job.
Right.
Because now look at this happen because people are afraid of a madam-looking person and are afraid to do their job.
We have to run off, but there was a story in this day that says Fashola was saying Tinubu, Amodi, and I are cool.
We're cool.
Minister Fashola, we'll call you. We'll call you to confirm that story. We're going to break. When we come back, we're supposed to have, what's his gentleman's name? Banky W. For whatever reason, he's not here yet. We'll find out. They switch out all their numbers.
Wow.
They do the PA and everything, so we don't know what they are, but hopefully they get here soon. But in the meantime, we'll discuss some trending topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we got a call from Red Media a couple of days ago that Banky W would like to be on our set, but for whatever reason, everybody's phones are off, so we can't reach them. We don't even know, but hopefully they can get here soon. And if not, I guess some other time. So we're going to discuss a few other hot topics out there. We read recently that the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has been under fire for flying economy class, as expected. Was expected to be flying the private jet, imagine that. And according to reports, he's the only Nigerian governor who had regularly flew the commercial flights back then. Now, there was also a trending video of Father Mbaka discussing, that was saying that the former governor was a very stingy man, so compared to President Buhari, who he felt was maybe supporting him was more of a curse. This video is actually very peculiar. I would like to play it, but unfortunately I don't think we can play it. But let's start with the switch one? The flight one. Let's start with the flight, then we'll talk about Father Mbaka. In your view, Peter Obi in economy class, I mean, I think that was just a regular, what's the big deal?
No, we don't see politicians in economy class. We don't even see, even Lagos State House of Assembly members. When I was coming back from the US, trust me, I went to the back, the one beside, where the toilet is very close to you, it means that you are at the back of the plane.
Right.
And that was the area they said that Peter Obi sat down. That's the area we sit down. Those of us that we save our money to travel.
So why is this news?
When you're walking through, where you see the politicians, the people that represent us, is in the first class, in the business class, and like in the premium economy. It is seen as a thing of status that you are flying with leg room. If you can afford it, honestly, I don't expect you to go and squeeze yourself if you feel you can afford to pay for those first class or business class. But it was strange to see someone that is contesting to become the vice president of Nigeria flying in a public...
I still understand
I still don't know why it's news, but I do remember, I think in the beginning of this particular administration, they had put up like a law stopping government officials from flying some certain classes. I think it was first class. Yes, it came out, yes, but I don't know if it was ever, but it came out, to say that those in office could not fly. I think it was first class. And they had to fly business class. And I guess when they put their own money to what government gives them, then they are allowed to fly.
I mean, when I read the story, I really wasn't moved.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything. It's what it can be.
Like you said yesterday, we should celebrate the security man that did not overlook the good thing.
And which is a
campaign gimmick.
Peter Obi has said it even 2 years ago when he was at the platform, that he is someone who is, in my own language, prudent. Because I'm a manageable person and I am a prudent person. So I love and support anybody that is prudent. And that is even what
for most people who fly business class and first class, except YQ, so that I will not receive a call. Most of them is just about show off.
Not necessarily.
Relax. So. I'm telling you,
it's not that.
Some ladies I know will break back, tell husband to empty account just so that people will see them in that class. At the end of the day, at the end of the flight, you will disembark. That's the painful part.
Let me give you my mother's gist.
That flight.
My mother, for many years, I mean, in those days when she was Mrs. Akabash, she used to do first class. She come back and do that KLM, little things, yes. But of course, circumstances of life happened, and she travels in the economy. So recently, my aunt sent her a first-class ticket to the US, return ticket. Hey, my mother, we didn't hear the end of it. From the moment she entered, Kamara, can you yato? Yato, forever, since I feel log out. I'm not entering economy again. But you just pay the money you can pay me, I'll balance it. My point is that it's not the same thing. So if you've experienced this, it's not the same.
So which is why we should applaud Peter Obi for not caring what people will say.
I want to link it to what Father Mbaka said. Okay, because people used to accuse our former governor of Lagos State, Fashola, of being stingy. Fashola or Lawo. The way he Lawo every time, just
he will handshake.
He will handshake. Now former governor Fashola will do handshake. Same thing with Peter Obi, it's just handshake. And we heard him at the platform saying that, listen, government money is not supposed to be spent for private use. So if Father Mbaka is saying at this moment that Peter Obi is very stingy, Is that a good thing for us?
Peter Obi went to Father Mbaka's harvest and did not pledge a dime. That was the problem. Everybody was pledging. Even the president's representative came.
He's not
pledged.
A show-off person. If he had gone to Father Mbaka's harvest and declared money, so people would say Obi pledged money, and he didn't redeem the pledge. Who we know? But people like to see Nigerians who just like take a person as he is. In that economic class, he had a seat, and his leg had room. He did not complain. It's fine.
But my own is that really Nigerians, what do we want? A man has decided to go by economic class. He could have gotten his money. He could have gotten whatever class. He would have flown whatever class. Right. He chose economy class, probably what he can afford. This reminds me of the Betty Rabot story, where she felt pressured, you know, by people to when they saw her in economy class. How can you be flying, you know, this particular class? And so I'm wondering to Nigerians, here we are, we're always asking for honest leaders. We're asking for people who are.
I'll take this call. Ayo, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
Well, I don't see why this should be an issue. When President Buhari was campaigning, he flew through British Airlines on economy class. Right. So I don't see why this should be a problem. It's his own money and he can decide to fly whichever class. Moreover, when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State, he was used to flying economy class.
Exactly.
So I don't see why this should make any difference.
It's always been prudent.
Okay, so let's switch the conversation a bit. Thank you very much for that comment. I wanted to bring it back to this issue of softness, because the cost of governance. You see, not cost of governance, cost of supporting a candidate. We've been seeing this said over and over again. Governor Ambode suffered the same thing. We gave you all our support. We did this for you. When you now got there, we did not get to so same thing. Father Mbaka was alluding to, saying that he has supported President Buhari, and they didn't get anything. So what's the cost of supporting a candidate? So
Maria, we cannot discuss this one in this segment alone. But let's just start. Let me come back. But let's finish with Peter Obi. About Peter Obi, he spoke at the platform and he spoke about how he met money. He judiciously spent money on only what is crucial. Now, the people talking about his video, being in economy, were not saying it to insult him. They were saying it because they were saying it to praise him, because they were surprised that a leader aspiring for presidency would do that. However, he also showed that he is a prudent person by nature, because even when he went to the church, he didn't do show off. He did not just dash out money in the church.
Okay,
pause
for a second. Let me
bring two twists to it. Now, number one is that he could, yes, have flown economy class at the back end of the plane and bought tickets for two or three other people who he felt needed the comfort, rather than make the money for one person. That's one. Number two, remember when the governor, his successor, brought out a conclusion and said he did some mistakes. His lawyers gave them detailed accounts, and that one never in his life tried it again.
Well, the same thing. So
he's someone who keeps account of this, accountable, is transparent.
Okay, so the same thing. We can attribute the same thing to our president, because Father Mbaka is saying that he too didn't kolawo. He didn't come back to say thank you. He didn't come back to say they supported our president, and he too did not distribute the money.
Should be the last person complaining. The people that donated 1 naira to Buhari's campaign, people that trekked from here to Abuja, what did they get?
So, but before someone to show off. Before we even go into that one.
Let me take this call from Emmanuel. Emmanuel, are you there?
Hello?
Emmanuel, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm just calling to make a contribution concerning the issue of the Peter Obi flying the first class. Right. I don't see why in Nigeria.
Okay, we can't.
He's listening to himself.
Okay. We can't hear you, unfortunately. Yes, so we're going to say the points.
Yes, I was going to say that Father Mbaka mentioned his attack on Peter Obi was based on the fact that he got a pledge from the presidency to build an hospital within his space. Okay, we'll move to the next one. So that's why he made the statement that Peter Obi, you did not give anything. You're a stingy man. You will not. Your push would end up in shame. And I believe that after we come out from the break, we should talk about the role of our religious leaders in declaring their support for a political candidate and expecting their church members to vote for the person, regardless of how effective that person has been in governance at the point in time.
We'll talk about the effects of the church in politics, and also that cost of supporting a candidate. Because people always feel as if I've done something for you,
our son, the president.
Let's go on the break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Once again, as I said, we're supposed to have Banky W all day today, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, Yemisi, his PA, isn't picking up, and Red Media isn't picking up either. So hopefully some other time. But we're going to go back. It was an apology because we planned for Banky W. Especially because we actually planned for Banky W today, but no problem. So stories of our president being cloned as Mr. Jibril Sudan have been circulating social media. However, Tokwe's grandfather in the Lord, Pastor Bishop David Oyedepo, has reached out, or actually reacted to the allegation that the president should address us concerning this issue. Now, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, the president has already addressed the matter, so we're not even going to the president's response issue. But I think the focus really is religious leaders, regardless of your grandfather in the Lord, because it's when it's redeemed now.
This is a very, very emotional moment for me.
My father in love. So I'm making it very personal. So because if it's an RCCG, people start saying that RCCG. But this one, now your side, this matter.
It's a very, very emotional day for me.
The point is that let's not focus on the bishop.
My heart is broken.
Let's not focus on the bishop. Let's focus on religious leaders getting involved in politics. Because some people are hanging. Some people have argued that, listen, the world got civilized mostly by the church, the religious bodies getting involved in politics. So maybe we actually do need religious leaders to get involved in this kind of politics, because people follow them and they have the flock. So if they can get it right, hopefully they can influence us to all get it right. So maybe that's an argument. Maybe that's why he's getting involved. But in your view of this issue, this article he read in The Nation of November 27th, he said, Tokwe, want to give us a story? What happened exactly?
Okay, so my grandfather in the Lord, so I'm feeling really hurt right now.
Don't be hurt. Be proud of the grandfather in the Lord, please.
Because I have bashed people that do this on this same place, which is why I must mention his name. So Bishop Oyedepo on Sunday in the service, quoting what he read, an article he read in The Nation, mentioned that in the article, the writer said that the president, our current president, is in actual fact had died in 2017, and who we see parading himself, quoting this article, is that this person parading himself is a clone, somebody called Jibril El Sudan from Sudan, and that the family of Jibril found out that their child is a clone and the president here asked Nigeria to share 50% of our oil proceeds with them, and it was agreed. And Bishop was saying that how can a country with so many intelligent people making impacts around the world fall for this kind of thing? How can we be enslaved? Then he went into a serious prayer. And I could hear the reaction of people of the church. They were pained. They were like, yeah, Mogbe, what's going on? And they were praying, they were praying that Nigeria be free from this bondage and all that. So in the time of the prayer was right. However, you are a man of God. I am a believer in men of God getting involved in what is going on in the country. You're leading the largest congregation in Lagos, and even some say in Nigeria. So I agree that we should definitely have, I don't believe that religious leaders should be neutral. I believe religious leaders should direct their flocks in saying what is right and doing what is right. Okay. However, here, there is obviously a misinformation somewhere, because the article was a satire, it wasn't a fact. And the person that wrote the article had already come out to say that his article wasn't a fact. It was a satire. I read the article. It wasn't a smell of fact. It was a satire. But the bishop took it as a fact.
Okay, stop where you have made the point, was a satire. But my first question, and I think everyone will be asking, is, our men of God stand before us every day and they say they hear from God. And you read a story in the papers, I would be hoping that God or the Holy Spirit will say to you, this is false. And then you come to the congregation and say, I read this story in the paper, but the Holy Spirit told me it is false. I don't know where God was in this case, that he allowed his man of God representing him to come and stand before his congregation and say something like this.
Do you know for a fact it's false?
Really embarrassing, really.
Do you know for a fact it's false?
Certainly.
So are you saying it is?
We don't know whether
it's... You just say it was a satire, now you're saying I'm not sure it's false.
The correct fact is that we voted the person in office, and we do not have any any fact that he died.
That he's dead.
It's not on record.
Yeah. So that's the
fact.
fact.
He was sick and he recovered, which is a normal sequence of events. People fall sick and recover. People don't always fall sick and they must die. So for them to be cloned. So that's a fact. That's what Miriam is saying. Now, I would expect that people of certain status, and I mean every influencer, like they are called, carry themselves with a certain level of responsibility.
I agree.
Publicly. You cannot address that number of crowd in such a seditious manner. Because you saw people were provoked, they were enraged. Coming from him, they believed it. Whether it was verified or not, they believed he would have done the what they call
the research,
due diligence check before he dishes out that to them on that level of the on that pulpit where he talks to them. Whatever he says to them is almost divine.
We don't know for a fact. As I said, we don't. Okay, yes.
I'm just giving you facts.
Okay.
Fact is that you fall sick.
What we know
you can
so far.
recover, you can die. Okay. So it's either you recover or you die. It's not a must that you die.
Okay.
Do you understand? So our president was sick for a long time. He was taken out. He was cared for. He was visited. We saw the weak person recover, and now he's he didn't come back as fresh as Jubrin that they are claiming. He came back a recovery, someone who was recovering through recovery, and he finally recovered to the person that we are seeing today running for elections again. This is a normal sequence of events.
Okay,
I don't understand.
Let me take this call from Yakub. Yakub, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, Morayo, I'm there. Good morning.
Go ahead.
And then good morning to the co-host in the studio. Morayo, for me, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised as I repeat. I will be surprised if somebody like Pastor E.A. Adeboye said that. Because I respect Pastor Adeboye so much. He will never fall for such things. Pastor Kumulu will never fall for such things. But we know those pastors that they are political when the free money is not coming to them again. Those are the things we see. See, it is only God gives power. It is only God takes the power. 2019 is around the corner. Whatever individual all of us support, we only pray that God Almighty should give us that person that is going to lead us to that promised land, which is the best life to lead into. So I don't want to mention his name.
Thanks very much, Yakub, for your comments. Now, imagine, hypothetically speaking, if Bishop is right. You know he becomes a hero.
But you see,
those are the heroes of the old that we're looking for
today. I am a lover of Bishop Oyedepo. I've read his books, I've listened to him. I love him with a passion. But I also know he's a human being and he has made many errors on the pulpit. He's passionate. And I will not sit here and pretend like I've not seen his fault because though he's a man of God and I'm not one to cast aspersion on him, he's come on the pulpit to say that Nigeria is going to be Islamized. We haven't been. He's come on the pulpit to campaign and say that Jonathan is going to win the election. He didn't. He has come on the pulpit and said that our president right now is a clone. And from what the president has said, he isn't. So as much as I respect the man of God, my expectation is that when you are a man of God, you should speak under the unction of the Holy Spirit alone. And you shouldn't just speak out of your own wisdom or anger.
You have just won my respect.
Okay, let's go on a break.
For being honest as you should.
It's painful, Sha. It's painful honesty.
We'll be right back. We'll take some calls this time and some tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. I just have to thank God. It's not my daddy Judah is on trial today. Anyways, so moving to Father Mbaka, who was saying that our president has a spirit of ingratitude. You know, in your view, I mean, what do you think about the fact that our men of God expect that they've invested so much in support for our leaders, and they should come back? And although he actually acknowledged that the president's wife, Aisha Buhari, sent some charity items. What kind of items or charity are we really expecting from Buhari? Was he expecting, according to what he said in that?
Okay, let me say what he said. He said that these grounds of this place, the place where they were, was a forest that they covered, and that they chased them out, that they are building it with their personal efforts. And the spirit of ingratitude in the president did not make him do anything, which means that if you put all the circumstantial evidence together, he's talking about donating that building.
He also mentioned.
And the reason why he's asking for that donation is that he feels that they invested prayers.
Yes.
Into
generated
prayers. So they got all the prayer.
That
was supposed to have been invested.
So can men of God just not pray for our pastor?
Okay, so Morayo, the thing is, I watched the video and honestly, it was very disappointing. And there was a sense of entitlement. He said, we generated prayer and fasting for you. We prophesied your presidency. He said, everybody, APC was a nobody when we declared against my own brother, Jonathan is still my friend. And I declared that you will win. And you won the election. You did not even come to these grounds to show gratitude. You did not even send anything. He said, those people that are collecting contracts, do they have 2 heads? Or what qualification?
So he has hit the nail on the head with that.
The visit of Atiku and Obi, because he's hoping that he will retrace his steps and be guided properly.
But let's take this call from Collins. Collins, are you there?
Go and advise him.
So obviously, we need to understand that these are men of God. Collins, are you there?
Yeah.
Please go ahead, very quickly.
Yeah, I'm a first time caller.
Welcome to the show, Collins. Go ahead.
Oh, we lost
it.
Yes, ma'am. Take a tweet.
Yeah, so Garth George says it's beginning to look as if these so-called men of God are not different from celebrities. They'll just stay to decide to shake tables so that all the attention will turn to them. Nemesis of bad government says Nigerians are too religious, and that's part of why we're stuck where we are. Jibril or no Jibril, religious leaders should be neutral, focus on moral and ethical guidance. Religion has caused us to deviate from nationalism to mediocrity.
Talking about being neutral, my own Daddy Gio has been somewhat neutral. My own father in the Lord, he doesn't get involved, but still he's criticized. He's criticized for being neutral. So see, what do you Nigerians want? Because he is very, very careful. You don't hear him uttering such things on the pulpit. But at the same time, they say, oh, he's too docile.
Because we feel he has influence.
Yeah, he has influence.
And
but
he speaks to these leaders.
People to I prefer that the people should decide what they want. He's not going to be able to influence you. But you get your PBC and vote in the right leaders.
Okay, so
don't get involved. So what do we want as a people? Do we want a leader to tell us what to do?
This is what we want. For cutting you short. Yes, religious leaders are influencers. They must talk about policies and things that will grow us. They must be here to be speaking the right things and and detach any bias or affiliation to it. So this sense of entitlement, of expecting something back for the truth you have said, put whatever discredit whatever you have said, discredit your personality, put water down whatever importance was attached to you.
Let me take this call from Deji and I'll come to you, Mariam. Deji, are you there?
Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I would just like to say good show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are grateful that we have people like you who bring out the real beauty about life and let us see the truth about issues. I would like to say that there are some topics that should not even be debated. There are lots of serious issues going on in the country. There are lots of damnation. The way I think we are diseased, sorry to use that word, and I would like to say that we younger generation who are giving birth to children should please just instill more knowledge in our children. So we would not be like a sheep led to the slaughter, because I think that is Nigeria's situation right about now.
Thank you very much, Deji. Yes, Mariam, go ahead.
Yes, what I find dangerous about the rhetoric of expectations from the people, from men of God. I mean, we've always had the stories of people who have given their money, invested their money in someone's campaign, expecting something back. But this is new for me, that you expect something back for praying for somebody. So that means we've taken our prayers and, we have made it a commodity. Yeah. Recently, Ghana has put taxation on all things that are sold by the church, like anointing oil, all those your anointed handkerchiefs and things like that. So what I'm thinking is that we might have to start thinking of taxing prayers, because they're used as commodity for making money. Right. Do you understand? So,
but you know that what you have to round up. Among their fasts is a common thing, so they pray for your side. It's a common thing.
And then you give, but you don't expect contracts from those sort of prayers.
So if you don't give, as I said, we really had planned a show with Baghdad, who has said he was running for office. But this was hot also, so it's good. So hopefully next time he can be on. All right, that's all we can take on the show. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.